Hi guys, and welcome to Bailey's Academy Online. In today's video, we're going to be taking you through some guidance and techniques on how to develop your latte art skills. In this video, we're going to be covering our latte art essentials, some step-by-step guides on how to execute the pour for your heart, tulip, and rosetta, and we're going to cover some common mistakes that we can make that can slow us down when developing our latte art skills. I highly recommend going backwards and watching Caroline's milk steaming techniques video to refresh your milk steaming abilities before continuing with this guide. So, let's begin. Latte art is a great way to present your coffee. Not only does it demonstrate your skills as a barista in creating consistent, high-quality milk, but it also creates a visually appealing presentation for our customers. And let's be honest, it's a lot of fun to learn and create. But there is some latte art principles that we have to cover before we start learning how to pour our designs. Milk texture will make or break your latte art designs. It's important for us to be comfortable in creating consistent, smooth, silky milk that has enough microfoam to cover the surface of our beverage. We create this by practicing becoming comfortable and confident with the positioning of our steam wand and milk pitcher. This allows us to introduce a slow, steady amount of air. When it comes to latte art, the perfect amount of microfoam we should have, well, is pretty straightforward. The clue's in the name. We should introduce the right amount of air for a latte with a 1 to 2 second burst of air. Introducing too much air will create a stiffer, thicker foam that'll be harder to create patterns with. Temperature is also something we should consider when thinking about our milk texture. Milk that has been allowed to get too hot will create lumps and clumps and will have a really hard, dry texture that we won't be able to manipulate easily. Ideally, we should be aiming for a milk temperature of around 50 to 60 degrees. Another helpful tip for texture is polishing. Once finished steaming our milk correctly, we must be careful to keep the milk moving constantly. This is polishing. We move in tight concentric circles, which helps keep the milk from separating and keeping our milk in a smooth, silky consistency, ready for pouring patterns. We must be aware to do this consistently to ensure our milk doesn't separate. So, if we are happy and confident that we can create consistently smooth and silky milk, then we're ready to move on to our next principle. How we position our cup will help us land our design in the center of the cup with a good contrast and good symmetry. Our design should sit in the center of the cup with the handle of the vessel to the right of the customer. To achieve this, we should think of a clock face. Before pouring, we should position the handle of our cup to be located at 6 o'clock with the handle pointing towards ourselves. Similarly, when later we're ready to pour, to help us position centrally, we can come at the cup from 3 o'clock. The final piece of our cup positioning is the angle. After positioning our handle at 6 o'clock and finding our central point from 3, we want to tilt our cup at a 30-degree angle. This will give us the ability to control how close to the surface that we can get, so we can start marking the surface of our espresso with microfoam. When producing latte art, our aim is to have our pattern central, but also with good contrast. Our milky white design should be clear and defined against our coffee background, not washed out without any clear definition or unrecognizable pattern. To achieve good contrast, we must create a smooth, even base. And we do this simply by adding a small amount of milk to our espresso and thoroughly mixing together to create a smooth canvas before we start pouring our design. Successful latte art relies heavily on the manipulation of 3 elements: distance, speed, and location. The further away from the surface that we pour, the more the milk will slip underneath the crema without marking it. This is how we begin most of our latte art pours. The closer we pour or move our spout towards the surface of our milky espresso, the more microfoam will mark the canvas and sit on top. Controlling this distance from the surface will help you create and understand definition and add contrast to your designs. If we pour too fast, all of our foam will come out too quickly, resulting in a big white circle. Too slowly, and only the milk will come out, leaving your foam stuck to the back of the jug. This will result in a thin, flat coffee with no microfoam or design. An even, steady pour with adjustments to our distance from our milky canvas will allow us to mark microfoam on the surface and manipulate your design on the surface of your drink. Once we have created our base, we must try our best throughout our pour to directly remain in the center of our canvas. This will produce a final design with good symmetry. It'll also land it in the center of the cup. A lot of movement will create a lot of movement in our cup and will throw off our pattern, off center, and possibly even affect the definition. We must be mindful of remaining in the center of our cup until making our final movement to finish the design. Understanding how to manipulate and control these three elements will have you well on your way in progressing with your latte art. It'll also help you troubleshoot any issues that you might come across. At this point in the video, guys, we've kind of come to understand that there's a lot to be covered when starting to learn your latte art. But don't worry, a lot of these elements will become second nature, and the main thing that you're going to be focusing on is what design you're going to pour. In the next section of this video, we're going to be slowly breaking down our three main latte art designs, step by step. The heart is the foundation of all our latte art designs and a great place to start. Taking care to master this design will allow you to become comfortable with controlling your speed and distance and marking the surface of your drink with microfoam. So, let's begin. Position your cup and create your base. Position your spout over an inch over the central point of your canvas. Pierce the surface of your canvas with milk by pouring in a steady, consistent speed. This allows the milk to slip beneath the surface of your canvas. Once the cup is half full, lower the spout close to the surface and keep pouring into the center. Dip the spout slightly towards the center of the cup at a slight angle. This allows the foam to slide out of the jug and sit on the surface of your coffee, leveling your cup as it fills. When the cup is just about full, raise the jug away from the surface, maintaining your speed, before swiping the jug in a clean, fast movement towards 9 o'clock, finishing the point of your heart. A tulip is a number of hearts wrapped around and stacked against each other to create a tulip-like design. This design requires a little bit more control and motion in our cup, but once mastered, promotes confidence in filling your cup with beautiful stacks. Position your cup and create your base. Position your spout just over an inch over the central point of your canvas. Now pierce the surface of your canvas with milk by pouring in a steady, consistent speed. This allows the milk to slip beneath the surface of your milky canvas. Once the cup is a third full, lower the spout close to the surface, dipped at a slight angle, allowing a white spot of microfoam to fall, and then stop. Repeat the previous step just above your first spot. This allows the second white spot to form, and by dipping the spout and rocking slightly back and forth, pushes and wraps the first spot around the second. Repeat this motion for your desired amount of tulip leaves or until your cup is nearly full. When your cup is full, raise your jug upward and swipe your jug swiftly and cleanly to 9 o'clock, cutting through the center of your tulip design. The rosetta, sometimes known as the fern or feather pour, is the most complex out of the three designs. This design requires a lot of motion and movement in our cup that the control of our speed and distance manipulate. We move from left to right towards the back of our cup, or 3 o'clock, to allow microfoam to fall forward and create our leaf-like design. So, let's begin. Position your cup and create your base. Position your spout just over an inch over the central point of your canvas. Pierce the surface of your canvas with milk, pouring in a steady, consistent speed. This allows our milk to slip below the surface of the milky canvas. Once our cup is a third full, lower the spout close to the surface, dipped at a slight angle, allowing a white spot of microfoam to form. This will be the base of our rosetta. Without stopping, begin to wiggle the jug from left to right, keeping the spout dipped at the same angle, pouring at the same speed towards the back of our cup, or 3 o'clock. Once you reach the back of your cup, level your cup as it fills, raise your jug upward, still maintaining speed, and swipe through the design with the stream of milk towards 9 o'clock to finish your leaf design. All of these designs require a little practice and patience. I highly recommend becoming comfortable with one design before moving on to the next. So, in the final section of this video, we're going to quickly take you through some common mistakes that you can make that will slow you down when developing your latte art skills. Milk texture. As mentioned earlier, if your milk is the wrong texture or too foamy, this will hinder your ability to create patterns. Pouring too quickly or too slowly. Mastering the speed of your pour will help you control and manipulate how your microfoam falls into your cup. Too much movement. Be that from your cup, jug or arms, moving around will create a really turbulent environment for your pattern to sit on. Methodical movements and manipulation of your speed and distance will help create beautifully symmetrical, vibrant designs. Moving your jug upward and away from your cup as you pour your design. Moving upward and away from the surface of your canvas will cause your design to fold in on itself, disappearing under the surface of your canvas. Finishing your design too close to the surface. When your cup is nearly full and you're nearly completed, it is important to lift away from the surface while maintaining speed to swiftly and cleanly use your stream of milk to cut your design in half. If you finish too closely, you will distort your design and pull through it, which is known as slugging in your design. Being nervous. Relax. To help with your shaky hands or limbs, square your feet with your hips, take a deep breath outward when pouring your design. This will help you center your core and keep you nice and steady. So guys, hopefully we've covered enough tips and tricks to get you well on your way with your latte art designs. Please feel free to upload any of your progress via social media, #Bailey'sCoffeeRoasters, as we'd love to see your progress. Thanks for joining us today. See you soon.